Hi creative minds, welcome to today's tutorial. Okay, basically you can see what we're going to do or we're about to do, but first of all, you know the usual. If you're new to this channel, please kindly click on the subscribe button. Also remember to click on the bell right beside it to get notified every time we upload videos. And also, if you've been on our channel and you're here to subscribe, kindly subscribe. Thank you, and thank you for clicking. So basically, before we start, all I need to say is hope you will enjoy this video. And aside from that, what it entails is just to make sure you have your Sinamay at hand, or if you don't have, get one and make this hat with me or this fascinator with me. Now we'll be using Sinamay feathers, and basically the bush feather and also the longer feather. I don't really know the name for the longer one. So also we'll be using Alice band, of course our scissors, some needle and thread, and most times I use a fishing line just for the visibility effect. So that's just the whole thing we'll be using here. Now for the bigger strip we've cut out from the Sinamay, this is the bias aspect of the Sinamay. So basically that should be what you should consider while you're cutting your piece. So now I'll actually be measuring the shorter side of this bias, which is 29 inches, and of course the longer side of the bias you should give us for 3 inches. So now for us to actually make use of this, it's quite rumpled, so we'll have to proceed to our ironing table to make sure this is well straightened, and that is it. Okay, actually it's even 42 inches, not for 3. Now why should we, another thing is, while you cut this bias, this particular Sinamay, all you need to do is make sure the bias strip you'll be using to cover should be 10 plus. That's the 10 is from the angle size plus the 42 inches, which makes it for 52 inches. So basically what it entails is that the bias strip you'll be using to cover the edges of the Sinamay pattern you've cut out should be around 52. If not 52, let it be something closer to 52, so that by the time you stretch your Sinamay strip, it will be closer to it or it will exceed it. So basically what I have here is for 3 inches, and of course if I fold, after folding I'll actually stretch it, so it should be up to or more than, it's even more than 52 inches. So now the width is actually 3 inches. Now also the width for the bigger one is around 6.5 inches. You can make it smaller, because after I finished this fascinator I wished I made it maybe like 4.5 inches. So should, in case you are about to do yours, consider that. It will also give you a very beautiful output. Alright, so for us to make our bias strip, of course we already know how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, please do contact me directly to my email, which is firstmillinary@gmail.com. that we can actually give you access to personal training. So now you can see I've actually folded and I'm stretching. So as a result of the stretching, of course the bias strip will be longer than the usual. So we're actually going to be confirming, so you can actually see. Now for us to I don't know what's wrong with my voice but for us now to actually determine the difference between the stretched one and the unstretched part of the Sinamay strip, I'll be showing you the difference. You can actually see how stretchy it is. If your Sinamay strip is not stretchy, just consider that Sinamay strip or that Sinamay is not a good one. So it must be strong and stretchy. So you can see I'm actually trying to show you guys what the difference is between the stretched Sinamay strip and the unstretched one. You see that it's much more longer. So you can see now we have 55 inches after stretching the Sinamay strip. So also you should also see that this is something that you should also consider when you are making your fascinator. Now because it's quite rumpled, I'll actually be straightening the Sinamay so that it can give me a beautiful output or a beautiful result. So now after that, also remember to iron your Sinamay strip if you wish. So now you can see this is a Millinery wire or spiral wire. I call it spiral wire because it's quite softer than the usual Millinery wire we use, especially in Nigeria. So basically you have to use it to wire the longer part of your Sinamay, so that you can actually cover those parts with a bias strip, and the other side will be somewhere you run your needle and thread so to squeeze and also form the rows which comes with the fascinator. So now you can see, even after I wired, I still had to go and iron. I was actually interested in making the thing look very neat and well presentable. So you can see I've actually fixed my bias strip, and you can see that is one side angle. From one side angle to the end of the longer side is where I fixed my bias strip, and for the other shorter side is where I ran the little stitch that I'm going to be using to actually form the row. So when you do that, endeavor to squeeze so you can form gathers to enable you form a little rows that actually came with the fascinator. So you can just see how I'm actually doing it, just so you be able to do, just take be much more focused here, because there are things you might not pick if you don't watch closely. So you can see what I'm actually doing. I'm trying to make sure I'm gathering it, and you can see as you're gathering it, or just pulling the thread or the fishing line, the whole thing gathers and curves. So this also helps you to actually make the rows forming easy. Alright, so I'm back again. My voice is kind of not too clear, but help me manage it. So now, after gathering the pull or pulling the thread, all you need to do is use it to form the rows. Then for the parts that will be resting on the side of the face, make sure you actually get enough that will do that. But the secret is just measure 10 inches, except if your client's face is wider than the normal human being's face. I guess 10 inches should be able to be enough to form that curve and the one that rests on the side of the face. If you don't understand me, don't worry, you get to see the picture. Maybe you didn't see it at the starting point of the video, you get to see the picture at the end of it. So basically, after making the rows, all you need to do is get your hot glue gun and glue down. So that's just it. Okay, now so after forming the rows, what it entails is make sure that between the point of the end of the rows and the remaining parts should not be more than 10 inches, so you can actually flip through. You can see just exactly the way I flipped to give me the style we are actually trying to create. So that should be what you should consider while you're doing it. The point where the row stops and to the end point should not be more than 10 inches. I'm actually going to be showing you while I measure. So basically that is it, except if you want it to look longer than what it's on the picture. So now that is what you'll be doing, and afterwards we'll actually run a knit stitch from where we stopped back to the point of the rows, so that we can actually make sure the whole thing is sitting properly, or we get the final look. So you can just watch how I make this fascinator, so that you can actually replicate or um, try out your own style, and you can see how I flipped through, and also make sure that it's neat and the curve is not too bad. So do you see why I actually ran spiral wire or a millinery wire through, so it can actually give me the perfect curve I'm after. So that is just it, and there are no much thing here. Um afterwards, all you need to do is make sure you get a fine base, or you can get a felt and glue, then you attach your Alice band, or do something like, even if you can actually use this style to form an embellishment to a very bigger hat, it's all well and good. It's your own side, it's your own taste, it's what you want. So I will always tell you guys, embellishment is a thing of the mind. It's how you feel that you embellish your fascinator and stand out that matters. So basically, try out this and also embellish in your own way. I thank you guys for clicking. Thank you so much for viewing us, and we'll be expecting you guys in the next tutorial. So basically, for you to know when we upload, kindly subscribe to this channel and do not forget to hit the notification bell right beside it, so that you always get notified every time we upload our videos. So guys, I'll be showing you all the final look, and I know you've seen it on our community tab. You've also seen it while we started this video, but so you get abreast with the whole look and look at the fine fascinator, the beautiful fascinator, how it's actually sitting. Now imagine if it's sitting on your beautiful head. You can imagine that. So the fascinator is beautiful. It's something you should have in your closet. It's something you should have in your collection rather. So please create one for yourself. If you are a millionaire, create one for your customers. And if you are yet to understand, please let me know at the comment down below. Thank you guys for clicking, and we'll be seeing you in our next video. Bye.